Hey, welcome to the Wizard Tower. The Wizard Colorado here with a tutorial using Lumia Stream and the Divoom 64. Say you want the Divoom to react to some of the things that you do in chat or channel points, and you just don't know how to do it. I've spent the last week or so kind of diving into the API of the Divoom. Not really familiar with API commands or anything like that, but I can kind of show you what I found out. Like in my Twitch stream, we love to roll dice. I love to play RPG games, and I make custom dice. So I set up a command using my voice to roll some dice. And all I have to do is say, roll some dice. And you see, it kind of changes the Divoom to my emote for dice. In stream, we would get a number. I would actually, it would roll a d20 and show you there. But just for example here, see that? Say you have a favorite animated emote that you like to show on the screen, and somebody can drop it into chat. And there you go. We kind of got the animated emote back there. Say you got a new follower, a sub, some bits, maybe a raid. And with Lumia Stream, we can show, like, say we got a new subscriber. And we'll test that out. So lights flash for the new subscriber, loads up there and says, thanks for the sub. I'm kind of new to making animated GIFs and everything, so mine are a little bit rudimentary, but you kind of get the point. After it's over, it switches back to my favorite GIFs that I've downloaded off the Divoom app, so it kind of just rotates through there. Say you have like VIPs or people that always come in the stream and you like to give them a special shout out. We can set that up. Say I have my mod, my best buddy Exos. He comes in the stream all the time. I like to give him a little shout out. So all we gotta do is run that shout out. It'll load up his Twitch picture. Change the lights red because it kind of matches with his Twitch picture. We'll learn how to do stuff like that today. First thing we need to do, I have the Divoom API sheet, and we'll kind of look through that, and I'll explain the things that I figured out. There's a couple more things in there I haven't figured out, but if anybody knows how to use API and can figure those things out, I would greatly appreciate it. Like if you let me know how to do that. But I'll kind of show you what I figured out this week. I'm also using Postman API just to kind of send codes to the Divoom or to the website, and it'll send back responses. I don't know if it does that on the Lumia Stream app. And we're going to send API through Lumia Stream, but it doesn't give us back the answers of some of these questions that we're going to ask of the Divoom or the website for Divoom. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So you see I've got the Divoom API website loaded up. I'll have a link to that in the information below. And this is Postman. It's free. I just, signed up for the free thing. There are paid versions of it, but I don't think it's necessary for what we're doing here. I also downloaded, there's a companion piece of it so you can run it from your desktop to the local network. For the most part, APIs run on the web, but for what we're doing here, we want to run on the local network. So I downloaded the little attachment for it. But let's go ahead and jump in here. So first thing we want to do is find the device that we have. It's going to pull your IP address of the Divoom. It's going to pull the Mac ID, and it's going to your device ID. Those are the three things you're going to need to be able to control this through Lumia Stream. So what we want to do first is find our device. And all we got to do for that, this one's super easy. We just copy this and paste this over into here and push send. And it's going to pop out this information down here. I kind of got my head covering it just because it might have some sensitive information. I don't think the IP address matters too much because it's for your hardware that you have in the house. I don't think you can use it for the outside, but just in case, I'll probably blur it out a little bit. So it returns the name of the device, the Pixoo64. I didn't change the name of mine, so it is Pixoo64. If you named it your name 64, it might kick back that. The device ID, we want to make sure we copy device ID, the private IP address, and the MAC address. You need those three pieces of information to send for the Divoom. Okay, once we have these things, make sure you copy that, save that into like a Word document or somewhere. It makes it so much easier. I've gone through and made copies of all the commands that I send. It's so much easier, trust me. So we copy that, and then we'll go into the Divoom 64, and this is kind of like everything that the Divoom 64 does. We'll start off with dial control, and then we'll get dial type, and this is the different like face IDs they have in the Divoom app itself. So if we come over here, we'll copy this and paste this into the Postman. We'll send it, and it's basically going to spit out all your list of clock faces, dial types is what they call them. So social, normal, financial, game, holidays, tools, and design 64. You can copy all those down because there's so many different faces in Divoom, and it makes it so much easier if you write these down. Mine has a different list. I got pixel art, I've got social, financial, games, sports, tools, plan, holidays, normal, custom, self, and time. So if we can find any of the information of these with the next section of the Divoom API, the dial list. Basically, we want to we'll copy this, paste this in here, and now we're finally sending our first command. And we'll copy this and we'll paste this right in here. And this is going to give you the ID list of all those things. Say you have your YouTube set up, your Twitch information, your TikTok, and you want to have one of those load up. This is what you use. So basically, we're going to get the social list here, and it's going to spit out this information down here. So I'll send it, and it's basically the same list they have here. There's a few more in my list than they have on here. But you can write all these down. Say you're using Twitter, where you want to remember ClockId 24. Say your Twitch account, ClockId 42. Your Twitch stream, ClockId 44. We're gonna use this one, ClockId 40. That for our other YouTube video. So on the next little page here, the select faces channel. Now we're gonna actually load up the YouTube page that you have saved in the Divoom to the board. So basically it's telling you your HTTP IP :80/post. So we want to use this, but we want to replace the IP with the IP address we got by the find device. So whatever it spit out for you here, or you can go into the Divoom app, go into your product that you have. You should be able to click on that and it'll give you your IP address. So what we want to do is post that in there. I've got mine saved. That's what I'm saying. I have a little list, like a file saved of all my commands. It makes it so much easier. So I've got my IP address in there, :80/post, exactly what it is here. And then now we want to kind of understand what they're saying here. So we got command is the name of what we're going to send. The command is going to be channel SetClockId, and then the clock ID is going to be the face ID. So like I was saying, we want to do the YouTube one. So the clock ID is 40. So we'll come back here, and I've got that saved over here, clock ID 40. We'll copy this. this, paste this in here. What is going on here? It's being a pain for me. All right. Anyway, so we've got the bracket open, like the open bracket, quotation, command. Then we got colon. So we got command, colon. Then we want channel set clock ID or select ID, comma, or quotation, comma, the clock ID, and then the face ID of what we want. So we should have all that saved up, and you've got our IP address in there. If we push send, it should, in theory, load up the YouTube. And there it is. So we kind of go switch back over. Obviously, this is not my YouTube one, so I chose the wrong one. If we go back into the dial type, like if you've set it up in here, let's see, YouTube. Okay, YouTube account. Let's switch that to 38. So we'll watch back there again. I'll send that, and it's changing. All right, now I think this one's mine. Wizard of Colorado. How many views I've had, how many subscribers. So you can switch through any of those very easily. Like if you want to load up your Twitch one, if you want to load up your TikTok, you just got to find it, the clock ID that corresponds to the one you've set up in the app, and you can automatically send it. Super easy. I'll kind of move on to the next section after that. So we've got the custom channel control, or the select channel. I mean, there's different faces and everything you can load in there. Same kind of principle. I like to use the custom channel one. That's where my rotation is at, like the normal one I like to use. So we're going to use the IP address again, :80/post. So we got that in here. And then we've got, I want to load up my rotating picture. And I know that one is my channel 2. But through the API, they don't use 1, 2, 3. They use 0, 1, and 2. So I know if my 2, I want to load up number 1 through the API. It gets a little confusing, but just remember 1, 2, 3 is 0, 1, or 0, 1, and 2. So I want to load up custom 2. So that's going to be the first one. So I come in here, I'll copy my little command. I'm telling you, this is so easy. Once you know which ones you want to do, copy and paste is going to be your best friend on here. But we got the command, we got the channel set custom page index, custom page index, and it's going to be custom index page 1. So we're going to send that, and we should. There it is. Now we got our rotating GIFs going through there. So that's my favorite to do after I run a command. I like to return back to this one. So let's go ahead and set up a command in Lumia Stream for what we just kind of found out here. Say we want to load up their YouTube page. Say like you have a timer that displays your YouTube on the Twitch stream every half an hour or whatever, and you want to kind of change over and display the YouTube page back there. Let's make a quick command in Lumia Stream. So I'm going to add a new command. I'm going to call it Divoom YouTube. It doesn't matter what you call it. Divoom YouTube. I don't want a color change, so I'm going to no color change. It's going to last, we'll make it pretty quick on this, 6 seconds. And then what we want to do is come into the API section here. So the API, what we want to do is we're going to copy our IP address. We're going to post that into the URL. Our type of request is going to be a post. And then it kind of gives us our little body over here. And we want that to show our YouTube video. So I'm going to post that channel SetClockSelectId, and that was 38. And we're going to add that action to that API. That's at the start. And if we click end, we want to do kind of the same thing. So after it displays your YouTube picture, and I want to go back to my rotating, you can go have it go back to whatever you like. I just like my rotating image. So it's pretty easy. Once again, we're going to copy our IP address and post that in here. This is going to be post. So we got our body, and I want to switch over here. So we got back to the custom page index 1. So we're going to add that action. I'm going to apply that, refresh. And in theory, let's go to the big screen here. In theory, when I test this, no light change. It does load up my YouTube exactly like we wanted. And after 6 seconds, it should go back to my rotating. You can make that as long as you want. You don't have to make it go back to the rotating. It can just stay on your YouTube. So, you know, it's kind of whatever you want to do. So like that's the fun one. Like I love setting that up. To load different faces onto this screen and then go back to your rotating. All right, let's get back in here and we'll kind of go through a couple more of these things. Let me hide the Lumia stream. So we got the select channel one. You can kind of go through and play with these if you want. I mean, it's just the different faces. Like you have your visualizer channel. You've got a couple different indexes in here. I think that'll load up your favorites list or your upload list, and it'll play through your upload list. I don't use too many of these yet. Visualizer channel is like if you want the decibel, like it'll show you the decibels in the room and stuff. I don't use that one much either. Cloud channel, I don't use this one, but this is like your favorites and your subscribed artist list and album. But if you have a favorite artist that you like, you can load up their artwork onto the Divoom using these commands. Like I was saying, I don't use that one too much, so I haven't played with it. Get current channel, I don't use too much. All right, we'll skip past that. Set brightness, you can send the brightness to it. So we've got our IP already set in there. Let's copy this code. We'll paste it right in there. Let's say we want it to be 50% brightness. Should it give me an illegal JSON? This is the problem, is even their, like, you copy the request example straight from them, it does not work because something is funny in their command. So let's try one we know works. So we'll copy and paste this in here, and we'll just change the commands to what we want it to say. So we want this one to be channel set brightness. So we got set brightness, and then we want brightness. And then we want the brightness to be 50% because it's 0 to 100. So we want the brightness and send that. Oh, there we go. You can kind of see it got a little bit dimmer. Let's go 10%. Send that. Now it's even darker. You can barely see it. But now we want 100%. Boom. So that's a set brightness. I don't use that one too much, but you know, we're just kind of playing around with these settings, getting familiar with the API and how to do it. Like saying the copying and pasting there sometimes do not work. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it gives you an illegal JSON. I don't know, but I like if you use the command channel set brightness, you know, like I have it typed here, it works. So it's exactly what they're showing. I think it's probably because there's a space right here, maybe. Let me try that. Well, it doesn't give you a space there, but something was weird about it. Either way, we'll move on. Get all settings, and this will kind of spit out what the settings are on your Divoom at the moment. You can change any of these things. I really don't play with the clock time, gallery time, or any of this stuff, so the brightness might be something cool to play with. Weather in the area, I don't worry about that. Set the time, I set in the app. I don't worry about any of this stuff. Okay, the screen switch. This is how I turned it off with the blackout thing. So we can kind of channel command on and off. So, and like if you copy this command, let's hopefully it works. If not, we'll rewrite it. So we wanted to 1 is on, 0 is off. So if we change this to 0, we'll send that. There we go. It's turn the thing off. 1 turns it back on. So turn the screen on and off. Very handy, like my blackout action. I love that. Get device time. Don't really use any of these things. Set white balance. I don't use any of that stuff. Okay, tools. This is kind of fun if you want to set a countdown, like if you have a redeem action that for a certain amount of time, like you've got a 3-minute timer or something like that, we can use this code. So we'll copy this, paste this in here, and this is going to set 1 minute, 0 second, and it's going to be as 1 as stop or start. So we'll send that, and there we go. We got a countdown timer going. You can see it counting down. Say we want a 5-minute timer, so we just change 1 to 5 minutes. We'll send that, and that should update. Now you can see it's a 5-minute counter counting down, and it'll count all the way down, and then eventually it'll make a noise when it goes off. It's really handy. So if you have like any kind of channel points that, like, oh, you can't say a curse word for 5 minutes, you can't laugh for 5 minutes, you got an instant timer. You push a button on the Stream Deck or in Lumia Stream, instant timer. Love that. And then once it's done, you can have it go back to your rotating thing. So I like using that one. You can also have a stopwatch. So if you want to time something, you can have it run through the stopwatch, which is fun. They also have a scoreboard tool, which I've been trying to figure out, because we can send a scoreboard, like any score you want, to the board. Now, if I can figure out how to change the variable, so you can have like the blue score to be 100 and the red score to be 79, like you'll change as it's something's happening on stream. Like we're trying to keep track of a score between the red side and blue side, and if you can update that code somehow, I haven't figured that out. You have to go in there, manually change it. Say the blue score is 200 and the red score is 70, or we'll go 89, and we'll send that. Boom. So we got 200 to 79. Say red team scores some points. Now they're 120. Send that. Automatically updates the board, which is, it's really cool. Now, if I can figure out how to get that to work with channel points or something like that, it'd be really interesting. But I kind of want to go back to my rotating thing. So I come in here and I'll paste that in there, send it back to my rotating. Okay. Basically after that, I have not figured out how these play GIFs things work. It's asking for websites and everything. I've tried to post them on different websites, and I can't get it to load from the web. It's very weird. I don't know how this works. So if anybody figures out how the play GIF or sending a GIF pick ID works, let me know. But mainly what I'm worried about is down here at the bottom, the get image upload list and your get image like list. So if, say like when I have my Exos's picture popped up back there, this is in my upload list. So what we want to do is get the image upload list. So we are going to post this in here. And then this is where that Mac ID and your device ID come into play. So you want to use this code. I have mine saved off, which I'll probably hide this later on. Just, just so I don't know if that's crucial information, but we'll kind of hide this. So if I send that, it returns my list, much like down here where it's showing this information right here. It's going to tell you the file name of what you've uploaded. Like I have one that's Exos Evil ID. And so you want to copy this list. And you might, like every time you upload something new, you're going to have to come back and do this get image upload list. And it'll tell you all the images you've uploaded. This is like my subs, my followers, the different images I've uploaded. It'll spit them out in this kind of format, and you want to get this information right here where it's group and this long string of letters and numbers. So you want to save this. You can also do this for your image like list. So if you've gone through and you found some really fun images that you've favored them, you've put a little heart on them, you can pull those and load those up singularly to the board. So same kind of thing, you get your image like list. So I'll paste this, and I've already got my device ID and everything in there, so I'll send that. Okay, and then I've got one that I like here, and I'll show you how this works. So we'll come down to timer was still going in the background, which is interesting. But what we're going to do is use this information that we just copied before. Let me save my image that I liked. So we want to post this example. So we'll copy this, paste this into there, and we want to go back and use your IP address :80/post. So we'll copy this, copy this one, that one copying it's not going to do anything for me. And then the image that I liked, so I'm going to come in here and copy this, and I'm going to paste that image right there. So just to test it, send it. Of course, once again, the legal JSON, like that's what I'm saying. When you copy these out of here, sometimes they give you a weird thing. So I know this one works. So I'm going to paste this in here, and let's see if we can see what the difference is. I mean, so we got the command, draw, send remote. We got our field ID, and this is that information that we just got from our image upload or the like list. So I'm going to paste that in there. We'll send it. Okay, this time I didn't get an error. You can see it's loading. And then let's zoom in here. We got John McClane back there. He's stuck in the vent. So that, you can load up any of your favorite images. Let me load up my, let's see, I've got, we'll just load up some of the ones I have. Like, we'll do the welcome in Raiders thing. So this is how I choose like what I want to load, send that, and then we got welcome in Raiders. So whatever favorite or upload images you have, you just use that command, draw, send remote, field ID, and then the information you got from this list right here. So whatever you uploaded, whatever you saved, I don't know what. I think streamer bots, like every once in a while, it sends information, so like the lights flash, it throws me off. But you get your image upload list or your image like list. So all kinds of fun different things to do, but mainly you just use Lumia Stream. Switch back over here. Lumia Stream, you can make different commands and actions. Like for my follows and stuff, I use just the regular alerts. So you got your follower alerts, you've got your subscriber bits and hosts. So like if somebody gives me biddies, we'll test that. Lights flash, it switches over. Thanks for the bits. I've gone in here. I've gone down to advanced in that follower, manage the API, and then I've made those two actions. I post the upload image that I have. So we've used this information that we just got. So the image upload, and then I end it by going back to my rotating, which we learned earlier in the, if I turn off this Lumia stream, we get that custom channel. So we send that code in there, which was this command. We'll send that. It might already been on there, but it switches back over to that. So all kinds of different fun things you can do. Some of the commands I sent through StreamerBot. Let me know if you like a tutorial about StreamerBot. It's a free program I use to control all my channel points, all my, besides lights, mostly the lights I run through Lumia Stream, but all my other channel points and stuff I use through StreamerBot. It's very robust, a free program. But for sending API commands, I use Lumia Stream. Another great program I've been using for years. They keep on adding fun and new things to it every week. I mean, the team is so dedicated over there. And if you really do like the program and you decide to get it, I am an affiliate over there, so I'll have my information down the bottom. If you like the information I've given out today, please use my affiliate link. I would appreciate that so much, but no pressure. It's also a free program for the most part. You can do 98% of the things in Lumia Stream for free. You don't have to pay for it. I pay for it just because I want the added functionality. I love when I get a message in chat, the lights flash for just a second, kind of let me know that someone said something. I look over at chat. I never miss anything. I'm like, it's so much fun. I'm like, there's so many different things you can do with Lumia Stream. But I hope you liked the little tutorial. I know it was a bunch of information and it was it's hard to follow along. I really don't know about API myself. I've just learned it over the last week, playing around, sending different things through Postman. But basically anything you send through Postman, like these with the API and your IP address, you can make in Lumia Stream by managing the API and sending things through the API. Fine. So like any of the things that it does, like a follower, we'll test it. So when lights flash, switches over. Thanks for the follow. So much fun. You can have it display any information. You can make your own GIFs, upload those and get that upload image ID. I mean, it's a long string. I just copy it, save it in the file so I can come back in and add it into different functionality in Lumia Stream. But I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll try to post the commands in the list too to make it a little bit easier, just to make sure we're getting good commands sent. But just use your IP address and make sure you get that Mac ID and the device ID that pertains to your system and use those. It should work, but if it doesn't, let me know. We'll work through it. But I appreciate you checking out the video, and until next time, without